We have to wait for the 21st of June. 20 something, then you start to open up. Yeah, is it right, Jan? I've forgotten the dates.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So you still eat at home?
So they also gather at home.
Yeah. So if your house already got 5 people, then okay, yeah, so now it's 8:30. Maybe if you want, you can start.
Okay. You too, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to MSBS Weekly Meditation by Phra Goh. Today is the 15th of June, 2021. We are fortunate to have with us CK Adhibalo, popularly known as Phra Goh. Bhante is currently the religious advisor to Buddhist Youth Network Singapore. This week, we are starting a new topic. Bhante will be sharing on the 5 qualities conducive for enlightenment. They will be leading the homage to the Buddha and taking of 5 precepts of Buddhists. Now let's compose our minds, put our palms together, and welcome Bhante. Over to you, Bhante.
Okay, thank you, Terence, for the introduction. So we can start off with the opening chant. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. The 3 refuges first. Oh, you didn't add that in. Then we can just carry on chanting. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. And the 5 precepts. Pāṇātipada vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Adinādāna vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Kāmesu miccācara vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Musāvāda vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Suramiraya manjapamadatthāna vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, good evening, everyone. Today we are starting with this new topic on the 5 qualities. So we've ended the sort of Vesak series of talks. So towards the end, we talk about this Maha Sutta, and they mention many things, many Dhamma teachings, and the Buddha just like lists out the summary. These 37 factors of enlightenment. So today we'll be carrying on actually extension of the last week's talk. Okay, next. Okay, so these are the 37 factors of enlightenment. So how do you know 37? So you look at the 7 sets of qualities, the first row. So you have these 4 frames of reference. That means the 4 kinds of mindfulness, 4 mindfulness and the 4 right exertions, which is 4 right efforts, 4 bases of power or 4 bases of success. Then the 5 faculties, 5 powers, 7 factors of enlightenment or 7 bojjhangas, and the Noble Eightfold Path. So if you add them all together, it brings 37. Yeah, so you can use a calculator or mental sums and you can check out 37. Okay, so on the left column, you can see there's this thing called the 5 qualities. So these 5 qualities happen to be the same as the 5 faculties and the 5 powers, which is the first thing is called faith or sattha, and the second quality is energy or is virya, and the third quality is mindfulness or sati, and the fourth quality is concentration or samadhi, and the last one, fifth one, wisdom, is called panya. Right, so the only difference, right, is probably this vimamsa, and 7 bojjhanga factors called Dhamma Vichaya. So it's in different contexts, but more or less the same thing. Okay, so these are the 5 qualities. So do you need me to run through these 4 right efforts and these 4 foundation mindfulness? We've covered that in the earlier series. Yeah, so most of the things are covered, except for this, how do you call it? Yeah, we covered everything actually. So except for the 5 qualities. So today this is the last one. We briefly mentioned the 5 powers, but today we're going in detail. What are these 5 qualities? Right. So I give you time to take a look at this diagram, right, and let you absorb what all these things about. Okay. So once you're done, we can move on to explain the first quality called faith. So Terence, you can click on the next slide. Yeah, okay. So basically faith, the minimum required is actually faith in the Buddha. But of course, we can extend to the triple gems, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So all the time we've been chanting in the opening session, we pay homage to the Buddha and taken refuge in these triple gems. So that's the opening chant. But what are we chanting? What are things we need to reflect? Do we know what are the qualities of the Buddha in the first place? What are we taking refuge in? What is the credibility of the Buddha? So of course we talked about the Vesak story. So then just a story, but this is like a summary. So this is a traditional account of normally how to reflect on the qualities of the Buddha. So there are 9 qualities. 9 qualities. So the first one is Arahant. Yeah, indeed, the blessed one is worthy. So the first quality is Arahant. Yeah, Arahant Samma Sambuddha. So the first one, Arahant. So Arahant is enlightened being. Enlightened being. So any enlightened being is worthy. Yeah, so we'll talk about it later. Worthy of what? Worthy of offerings, worthy of respect, and so on. Yeah, because they have achieved the highest perfection of human positive qualities, right? So these are the worthy ones. And there are so many people Now, some people may be in positions of great power, for example, but are they worthy? And do they have the qualities to do their task or perform their roles? Right. So the Buddha is a worthy one, as in spiritual sense. No, he has perfected all the spiritual qualities. Yeah, he has overcome great hatred and delusion. So this is the Arahant. So this is the first quality. And the second quality is this Samma Sambuddho, Samma Sambuddha, rightly self-awakened. Rightly self-awakened. So rightly self-awakened, there are also another kind, which is this Pacceka Buddha, silent Buddha. So a silent Buddha is unable to propagate the religion and start his Sangha. Whereas Samasa Buddha discovered the truth by himself and able to start this Sangha. So this is the difference. So our historical Buddha is Samma Sambuddha, that's rightly self-awakened. And the third one, consummate in knowledge and conduct, Vijjacana Sampanno. Right, so he's very knowledgeable. Right, how do you call it? He knows a lot of his, not just Dhamma knowledge, not just knowledge pertaining to enlightenment, but lots of, how do you call it, common sense, a lot of mundane and circular knowledge as well. So one good example is through, if you look through the suttas, the stories, when you have conversations with royalty, with soldiers, with farmers, he knows the trade. He knows the trade. So one good explanation could be he's spoken to them beforehand. Yeah, he's very empathetic, very down to earth. He speaks with them, empathizes with his crowd, and able to learn along the way. So this is one possibility. Another possibility is he looked through many past lives. He recalled many past lives. So he knows all the trade. Yeah, most of the trade he should know. So this is consummate in knowledge and conduct. So again, you can look through the management in the Vinaya stories, or like even how to build kuti, how to build a toilet. Those are the things he can give protocols. He can lay down the rules. So these are very knowledgeable. Yeah, so there's the Buddha. And the fourth quality, right, well gone. Well gone, Sugato. Right, so that means gone, now he has walked the path. He's not just able to talk, but he's able to walk the way, walk the talk. So this is one of the explanation, Sugato. And of course, some people think, oh, okay, he was a prince, so he's not like a common prince, a spoiled brat, and he doesn't know anything, just stay in the palace. Not true. So he's very knowledgeable, able to not just teach, and is able to walk the talk as well, able to be very hands-on. Yeah. And the fifth, an expert with regard to the world. Yeah, Sugato Lokavidu. So he knows affairs of the world, not just this world, but many worlds, many world systems. And the different deva realms, the animal realms, the ghost realms, and so on. And also, this is the macro level. And if I talk about micro levels, and to know the different world states of minds of different people. And that could be another explanation as well. So this is, he's an expert. So he knows how to engage with diverse groups of people. So this is the fifth quality of the Buddha. And the sixth quality, right? Anuttaropurisa Dhammasarati, right? Unexcelled as a trainer for those people fit to be tamed. So interesting. He's a good teacher, he's a good guide, and he's a good trainer for people fit to be tamed. Only people fit to be tamed, not everybody. Yeah? So the Buddha cannot help everybody. Yeah, so the Buddha trained for many, many lifetimes just to help a few people, or those people fit to be tamed. Yeah, not everybody can be tamed. And some people not ready. Some people you teach them or share with them, or they're suffering, you know. I'm enjoying my life, or no, we got suffering. Or you talk about, oh, they're suffering. Yeah, we suffer a lot already, you know. We know suffering more than you. Yeah, so this is another case. So, so it's not easy to teach. No, there's no, there are people who have different ways to overcome suffering. There are people who work on secular solutions to overcome suffering. You know, finding cures to diseases, or finding immortality through many secular means. Even ancient days, try medication or magic spells, whatever it is. Yeah. So nowadays, we talk about maybe cryogenics or this transhumanism. They want to transfer consciousness to computer and that kind of stuff. So these are they're not interested in overcoming this greed, hatred, delusion. Right? They still want. Greed and desire is important. Yeah, if not, life is not worth living. Yeah, you live for what? No greed, no craving, no meaning really, right? So not easy to teach. So even after the Buddha got enlightened, immediately, right? He's sort of like reluctant to teach, reluctant to teach the Dhamma. Not everybody can accept the Dhamma. No, there's so much dust in their eyes. Right? It's so hard to teach. Right? So strenuous. Need to exert. Right? So he decided initially, right? Decided to just just stay under the Bodhi tree and meditate and spend his days meditating until he passed away. Right? So until this Brahma Sampati invited the Buddha, requested 3 times. There are beings with little dust in their eyes, people who still can understand the Dhamma if you teach them. So the Buddha, he scanned the world and he said, okay, yeah, possible. So that's why we have Buddhism. Right? So he's unaccepted trainer for those people fit to be tamed. So even within the Sangha, in his own community when he was still alive, his own direct disciples, you have cases like Devadatta, right? And if let's say you read the Vinaya rules, there's lots of troublemakers. There's this group of 6 monks. There's this group of gangsters who go around beating other monks. Some monks who do finish some kutis. Then they go in like fuck, then they beat up the monks and take over the kuti. Something like that. So there are such kind of things happening in the Buddha's time. So lots of interesting personalities. So these are how do you call it? Different grades, different spectrums of people. So one good example is this horse trainer sutta. Yeah, there's this horse trainer. He's asking, or they had a conversation with the Buddha. So the Buddha asked the horse trainer, "How do you train a horse?" He's a royal horse trainer. So the royal horse trainer said, in order to choose the best horse for the royalty, right? The first grade, the best kind is if you're able to just give a verbal instruction and the horse able to listen to you, then this is, we will keep the horse. This is the best kind of horse. And the second kind of horse, you must say a few times or something like shout at the horse, and then the horse will listen to you. We will still take it in. So this is second grade of horse. And the third grade, the lower grade is you need to use a whip. You say nicely, don't listen. You shout, also don't listen. So you need to use a whip. Whip the horse, and then the horse will listen to you and follow your command. So they still can be trained. And the last kind of horse is if no matter what you do, you speak nicely, you shout, you whip, don't listen to your command. It's like a wild horse. So no matter what you do, doesn't listen to you, And the royal horse trainer says they will put down the horse. They will kill the horse because somehow maybe the horse is too far away from the forest or whatever it is, maybe logistically not cost effective to bring the horse back, whatever. Yeah, so they decide to kill the horse. So this time the horse trainer asked the Buddha, how do you train your disciples? Yeah, how do you train your monks, nuns, or your devotees? So the Buddha said, also very similarly, and the first grade is you give one teaching, they go practice, and they reach enlightenment. So this is the first grade of disciples, the best kind. And the second kind of disciple, second grade is you need to teach a few times. First time don't understand that much, you come and listen again and again. Then eventually they practice and they will realize the Dhamma. So this is the second grade of disciples. And the third grade of disciples is you must use a bit of harshness, like you must use a bit of so-called threat. Yeah, you do certain bad things. There's the evil, there's the hell realms, bad destinations. Sometimes you use a bit of in a way harsh way. Sometimes the Buddha used the word bala, fool, bala, yeah, fool, or use a bit of unpleasant terms, yeah, to sort of get his point across, not in ill-intentioned manner, but to wake up the idea of certain individuals, yeah, in order to make them train harder. Yeah, it's out of compassion. So yeah, so these beings are able to practice and understand the Dhamma. So these are third grade. And the fourth kind, the Buddha said he will kill the disciple. So the horse trainer is surprised. You're the Buddha, you're a samana, yeah, you're an ascetic. Talk about harmlessness. How can you kill a disciple? So the Buddha said by killing with this two inverted commas, he meant by not talking. Leave the person alone. Just leave them alone. Yeah. So one good example is this Devadatta. So when the Devadatta tried to create a schism, tried to kill the Buddha, he just formed his own community and no talking. Yeah, no talking, hopeless really. Yeah. So this is one example of sort of killing the disciple. Yeah, killing. All right. So this is the trainer. Okay. And the number 7 quality, the teacher of divine and human beings. Yeah, so he only teaches heavenly and human beings. So he doesn't teach animals, he doesn't teach hungry ghosts, he doesn't teach beings of the hell realms. Yeah, so we let that to the job of the bodhisattvas to do it. So the Buddha only, at least our Buddha of this world, doesn't teach the other realms. So only certain humans and certain devas. So devas also have a spectrum. Like for example, Mara. Yeah, Mara, how to teach the Mara? Mara is trying to dissuade him, trying to create obstacles for the Buddha, even after he got enlightened, trying to disturb the Buddha. There's even an occasion he tried to starve the Buddha. And when the Buddha go for alms round, and this Mara did some trick to the villagers, and they decided not to go out to give alms food. So the Buddha went for alms round, no food collected for the day. So he has to starve. Yeah, so the Buddha went hungry. And so this is what, this to the extent of what Mara can do also. So these are the divine beings, not all heavenly beings are also teachable, yeah. And interestingly also, the first 2 teachers that taught the Buddha is Alara Kalama and Uddaka Ramaputta, those beings in the formless levels of concentrations, yeah, in the very, very high Brahma worlds. If let's say they are in sort of stuck in their sort of realm, the Buddha somehow unable to teach them as well. Okay, and number 8, he is awakened, right? Buddha. So awakened, so it's same as Arahant, Sammasambuddho. And number 9, blessed, Bhagavati, is a blessed one. Right? Endowed with all the virtues, is blessed, very rare to have such a being appearing in this fortunate eon. Right? Not everybody can be a Buddha, so very blessed. Okay, so these are like the 9 qualities. So the reflection of the Buddha is actually a meditation theme as well, not just for reading or for chanting, but it's a kind of meditation. So a person can recite, if they know all the chant and memorize by heart, or if the best is you know it in English, your own native language, you can go through all these qualities over and over again. But the Thai tradition, they play cheat, they just use one word. They use Buddha, which is the number 8 quality, awakened, and awakened mind. So they just chant Buddha, Buddha. They don't want to chant the whole chant, Itipiso Bhagava Araham Sama Sambuddho, and so on. And so can be quite a long chant, all the 9 qualities. So if you can't remember, then you just pick one. Pick one, pick one that resonates with you, and just verbally, right, in your mind, sub-vocally, you can just repeat like a mantra over and over again, and that can be a meditation. That can be a meditation. All right, so the next slide. So once we have the Buddha, then we have the Dhamma. It's not that there's no Dhamma before Buddha. The Dhamma is like there all the time, just that the Buddha rediscovered the Dhamma and made the teachings known. Right? So in a way, without the Buddha, there won't be the Buddha Dhamma. There won't be the Buddha Dhamma. Right? So there are many kinds of dharmas. Math, science, history, all these are dharmas as well. All kinds of truth is dharma. But you want to be narrowed down and be specific, it's the Buddha Dhamma. So there are 6 qualities. Right, so these are the 6 qualities. First is excellent in the beginning, middle, and the end. So it's excellent right from the start when we talk about practicing morality. So it's very complete. Talk about precepts, how to live a life properly, and talk about the excellence in the middle, which is the concentration, how to enter different levels of concentration, which is also perfect, and excellent in the end, which is the wisdom part, right? How to liberate yourself. So that is the Dhamma taught by the Buddha. And number 2 quality, here and now. So you don't have to wait for the past life or the future life to experience certain truths. Of course, there are many dhammas about past lives or future lives. So these are certain higher knowledges, but not the Buddha Dhamma. Although the Buddha taught it in the suttas, the Buddha mentioned many things in the suttas. It talks about archery, pottery making, but all these aren't part of the here and now dhammas. So the here and now dhammas is talking about every moment here and now arising and passing away, right? Which you can experience for yourself, the here and now kind of karmas, and these are timeless. These are timeless. So great hatred delusion. Doesn't matter whether it's 2,500 years ago, millions of years ago, or millions of years in future. As long as there's still sentient beings, there's still defilements. And when there's defilements, there is suffering. And you want to overcome this suffering, you need the Four Noble Truths, right? And of course, you need to invite, right? One, to investigate. That means in order to verify it's true. It's not just a hypothesis. It's not just sort of for belief only. Yeah. So you need to experience for yourself. And so the teaching invites the practitioner to test the teaching, right? To have certain confidence. Right. So number 5, leading inward. Leading inward. Yeah. So these teaching lead to inner peace. There are many kinds of things that might lead outwards. There are many dharmas that lead outwards, external truth. So there are many things in the suttas, whether the ghost realm is real or not, whether the deva realms is real or not. Yeah, these are external stuff. Yeah, it's a kind of dhamma, but it's not the leading inward kind of dhamma. Yeah. Okay, so number 6, realized by the wise. Realized by the wise. So only when a person experiences the Four Noble Truths by themselves, so can they be called a wise person. Then, at least in the Buddhist context, yeah, realized by the wise. So it's an experiential, you need to realize it. It's not for you to just theoretically understand, but to experience the suffering is there and how to calm down these formations, how to create this peace, how to overcome this suffering. Right? So basically, it's the Four Noble Truths. So we have the Eightfold Path wheel on the right. Yeah. So I end the theoretical sharing for now until 9. Hopefully, it's not too heavy. And if there's any questions, you may do so. You may ask the questions. So I open the questions to the floor. You may type or unmute yourself, or if there's any questions on the Facebook comment. Yes, Jan, you unmuted.
Okay, I have a question like little bit. Okay, it is said that the Buddha has rediscovered the path to Nibbana, right, to enlightenment. But actually, I don't know, just an opinion, because Buddha just came down from Tusita heaven, and then I believe in Tusita heaven there is a lot of knowledge, a lot of accumulated knowledge in terms of teachings that actually people can also like learn, in terms of like a library that because this is the center of so-called Buddhism, right? In the heavenly world, a lot of people actually have a lot of their accumulated knowledge because Bodhisattva is there, Then they have so what I'm saying is this: the Bodhisattva have the ability to learn in Tusita heaven, right? So when they come down to earth, does it mean that he can just come back to the last life and then tune into the memory that has been learned? Can it be called also a rediscovery?
Yeah, that's why he has to wait for this very interesting opportunity for this proper human vessel body, right? Where the we call it the marks of the great being, and the 32 marks are there. You can refer to the Digha Nikaya 14. All the Buddhas, when they're born, they already have certain divine eye. They're born with the divine eye. All the conditions are right. He is able to walk and talk immediately when they're born. So it's a very special vessel designed for these special beings. So of course, very easy for them to recollect the teachings. Even as a child, he can enter samadhi during the flying festival. So it's not ordinary. So when he was even in his youth, their interactions in the devas, special dreams, premonitions, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that might be a way to recollect back all the knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, I think is a conditioning, right? So in the human world, he will realize the enlightenment to fulfill his aspiration to become a Sammasambuddha. But the knowledge and everything that is the tools to achieve that enlightenment actually is already inside him in terms of the memories, what have been learned, what he has gone through. Actually, is already there, just waiting to be realized as a Sammasambuddha.
Maybe theoretically, yeah, maybe theoretically, just like maybe many of us, we study a lot of Buddhism, but in terms of really reducing craving, yeah, that is a totally different thing altogether. Yeah. So there might be like a heavenly library, lots of knowledges. No, there, of course, in the suttas, there are times the Buddha, he might need to refer to the devas to confirm certain knowledge, and because it's archive, yeah, of knowledge up there.
That's right. Okay, Bhante.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Somebody typed, is it true that today's the Dharma is not as pure as during the Buddha's time? And so now it's difficult to get into the Arya paths. Yeah, we talked about this in the multi-traditions, same liberation. Yeah, so now the teachings have been edited, I mean, at least in the scriptures, has gone through many editions and many compilations. No? So we won't really know for sure. Yeah, but one thing the Buddha and line of practitioners down the path very strongly indicated, even in the scripture also, that we should practice and see for ourselves. Yeah, practice and see for ourselves. So this is the only way that beats the theoretical knowledge. So as long as the Eightfold Path is practiced, no, there will be arahats. So this is the last message of the Buddha in the even in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta. So hopefully that answers your question. Oh, then he left. Okay, anything else? Some people log in just to ask this question.
Nothing from Facebook, Monday.
Okay, all right. If there's no other questions, then we can end the. Now we have a short break, 5-minute break to do a stretching and go to the washroom if you want. Then we come back 5 minutes later for the meditation session. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Let's wait for the rest. So, Terence, for the retreat end of this month, is there like any special particular theme in mind?
Bante has the power. You take the lead, Bante. We are
All
open.
right.
We are
Okay.
open book.
Okay. So is anyone here signed up for the weekend retreat? Or how's the registration so far?
I see some familiar names. Yeling is one of them.
Okay.
And Hui Wen. Maybe some of them is your Monday class.
All right. Okay, so for those who are back, you may turn on the cameras. Okay, so today's meditation might be very simple, yes? Yeah, just using the recollection of the Buddha, so it's more faith-based. Faith-based. So we can find a comfortable sitting position, make sure your back is upright and your body relaxed. And even if you're not seated, this meditation can be done in any posture. You can do it while standing, sitting, walking, or even lying down. So that's the good point of this meditation. So if you can't be seated for whatever reasons, you may do it while walking or standing, no issues. All right, so what we're doing is you're going to think through the qualities of the Buddha. Yeah, so the Buddha is the enlightened one. And traditional Thai method is to just recite Buddha. So there are a variety of methods of doing it. So today we are doing this method with just sub-vocalization. So just Buddha, Buddha. Don't have to synchronize with the breath. Don't focus your attention to any point of the body, just focus on the sound. The sound and the meaning. So Buddha means awaken. So this is the quality of the Buddha, is awaken, is free from this greed, hatred, delusion, escape from the samsara, overcome these cycles of birth and death. And this promotes this right view. So what are we practicing for? It is to overcome the suffering. So different people, when they come, they have different goals and they meditate. Some people just, I just relax only, work too stressful, just relax only. So, but Buddhist practice actually is a bit more far-sighted. We talk about overcoming this birth and death. So you keep on mentally recite Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. So why do we need to keep repeating? Right? In all our previous meditation routines, I also emphasize more or less the same thing. Never leave the mind stagnant. If you leave your mind stagnant or idle for more than 2 seconds, then the mind will naturally cling onto something else. You'll cling onto unskillful thoughts, thoughts of restlessness and worry, or thoughts of greed, thoughts of desire, fantasy, and so on. Yeah, so these are the thoughts that the mind will drift to. So the Eightfold Path has this right thought and right effort. So effort is about overcoming these unskillful thoughts. So it's all about constant repetition of the Buddha or the recollection of the Buddha's qualities. So the path to awakening, right, or a path to this Buddha, this awakened mind is a long journey. So this journey needs to be traveled by the wheel, Dharma wheel. So it needs to keep spinning. So along the journey, there's all kinds of sceneries, all kinds of distractions. Distractions of the six senses. And meditation is mostly the thoughts. If you close your eyes, mainly the distraction is thoughts, So in the first sermon of the Buddha, the Buddha mentioned there are three kinds of extremes. The first extreme is craving to sensual pleasure. So all the fantasies in our mind and all the previous pleasures we experienced before will surface in our thoughts. So this one we do not try to cling onto them, So normally when a person is distracted, the wheel stops spinning, we stop and have a look at the scenery. So we're not traveling anymore, we just halt the journey. So the whole idea is keep traveling. Whatever happens, you just ignore. They come and go by itself. And the second kind of craving is this bhava tanha. So some people, they may enter concentration quickly, some may take a longer time, but whatever it is, if you experience certain calm and peace or happiness through concentration or meditation, do not cling to them. Also treat them as a scenery, yeah? Just a bonus, a side view, sideshow, and just carry on traveling. Keep on repeating the Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Do not stop and just hang on with the peace, no. Bhutto, 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 Bhutto. And the last kind of craving is vipawa tanha. So we are not, vipawa tanha means aversion, annihilation. So we are not rejecting, no, we are not fighting our sensual pleasure. We are not pushing away or fighting this peace and samadhi. Whatever comes, we just continue with the journey. All the scenes in the environment, we just leave it as it is. And if the mind gets sluggish or drowsy, then you might increase the rate of the chant. So any of the meditation objects require these 5 qualities. It's not just that we think of the Buddha is just faith alone. No, yeah? So it requires effort as well. It requires, and it's repetition, it's effort. And requires mindfulness. Is mind drifted away? Yeah, you must know. Yeah, so the mindfulness is also mindful of impermanence. Every time you recite a Bhutto, something has changed. And the state of mind changed, the feeling changed. And the more right thought you produce, and when craving is reduced, and one can enter concentration. So that's the paradox of thinking or right thinking. Yeah, when it's skillful thinking, and one can enter peace. So meditation is not do nothing, yeah? Cannot let the mind do nothing. So whatever experience you have, you just know the conditions that lead to this state of mind. And so there's no rejecting and there's no clinging. Carry on with this Bhutto. And slowly the mind will develop wisdom. Wisdom of what? Wisdom of the Four Noble Truths. Reduction of craving due to right thoughts, and when there's wrong thoughts, and there's more craving and more suffering. So only when the mind has reduced craving and reached certain level of peace, then there's a contrast. If not, you can't really see suffering, or not the kind of suffering from the Four Noble Truths. Okay, so I have enough of talking, and we have more of Buddha. So mentally, just recite Buddha all the way. So along the way, when the duration gets longer, and if you start to feel unpleasant feelings of the body, also just treat them as a sideshow, part of the scenery. Keep on traveling with Buddha. All the feelings are impermanent. And let's say there are other forms of distractions. The main thing is the mind. You just keep reciting Buddha. So Buddha means awaken. It means you must try to stay awake. Yeah. So it's not about falling asleep. So if you let the mind idle and do nothing, that's what we do before we sleep. And it can be peaceful as well, but not the kind of peace from the awakened kind of effort. So if you do feel extreme pain, right, it's all right to move. We are not fighting the pain. That is vibhava tanha. When there's aversion, then the wheel is no more spinning. We're spending too much time fighting the pain. So it's all right to move. It's all right to move in extreme pain. Adjust. This meditation can be done in all postures, all activities, no worries. All I do is keep mentally reciting the Buddha. And some people might think, oh, I must maintain my seated posture. And it's called clinging on to this bhava tanha. If a person hasn't entered samadhi, then it's desire bhava, desire becoming. And if, let's say, a person enters concentration and they feel extreme pain, they can't let go of the peace. And there is also a kind of this bhava tanha, form of formless becoming. So this journey is a two-way journey. Yeah? Once you start clinging to other sense objects, then the wheel will go to the reverse direction, back to the worldly path. So it's a tug of war. So either you travel in the right path or get pulled away back to the wrong path. So in the previous series, we talked about the stream, stream of desire. So this Dharma journey is going against desire. Yeah, it's a very tough journey. Requires lots of patience and consistent effort. Once you reach to the source of the stream, and there's no more current, and then you can relax over there. No need to swim anymore. But as long as there's still mental formations, then you still need to keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. So the currents of desire, very tempting, like nectar. So once we get sucked into the nectar, it gets sticky, very hard to come out. Yeah. So the whole idea is maintain on the journey, try not to get sucked in to the stray thoughts. And let's say you're really low on energy and physically, you may try other postures, no problem. Yeah? And the main thing is mind needs to keep on applying the right thought, or in this case, this meditation object. So when we focus on this thought, on this Buddha, so that is a mental formation. That is already the 5 aggregates. And if, let's say, you want to analyze, right, you want to sort of develop wisdom, make sure you don't let go of the evidence. And the evidence being your meditation object, which is this subvocal chanting. And whatever phenomena you observe, and that is the evidence. Yeah, it can be sensations changing, states of mind changing. So these are evidential. And anything else you reflect, concepts like impermanence, suffering, non-self, all those are secondary reflection. So in the present stage in the meditation object, they are making sure the wheel is rolling on the right direction. And you don't want your vehicle to travel and hit a tree or follow the slope. So you can always challenge yourself, how far can you reach to the source of the stream? Where street is like a game, you have a high score. So all it is not to get distracted easily and maintain spinning the wheel. And keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. So the thought of faith, yeah, towards the Buddha, that is a kind of goodwill, overcomes aversion. So in the meditation, you face aversion, you might need to increase your faith. Or if let's say your faith is not strong enough, then do not spend too much time fighting the pain. It's like stopping the journey and you're trying to fight with the scenery. Okay, and we can maintain this mindfulness of recollecting the Buddha while we physically end the session. Yeah? So another reminder, this meditation can be done throughout the entire day, standing, walking, sitting, lying down. Yeah. Okay, so for those who have opened your eyes, any questions? And is physically awakened. No issues? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question about this.
Yeah.
Okay, it's related to the main disciple of the Buddha, right? It is the Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Moggallana. So Venerable Sariputta, when he during his uh, during his time to reach enlightenment, right? He did it with sukha. What do you call it? Sukha, right? Meaning the way that he reached enlightenment is with happiness.
Yeah.
You know, but Venerable Moggallana it with a lot of pain, with a lot of struggles when he achieved enlightenment. What would you think is the why is that so?
Yeah, I haven't came across that before, but probably the nearest one I came across was this the Asupa Sutta, where the Buddha mentioned if a person were to visualize on the impurities of the body, that is the unpleasant path. Yeah, whereas if a person were to do the jhanas, that is the pleasant path. So again, that depends on the 5 qualities. If a person has low on the low side of the 5 qualities, whether they do the Asupa or the jhana method, they'll take a long time. But if they they have high 5 faculties, high 5 powers are high, then either they do the jhanas or the Asupa meditation, they can reach enlightenment quickly.
So you're saying that it depends on the object of meditation. So if the object
Yeah,
is
very much
jhana,
so,
then
yeah.
it's happiness. If the object is not jhana, something else, asubha for instance, then it become a painful experience.
Yeah, probably Venerable Moggallana, he is focusing more on the 4 bases of psychic power, which requires lots of visualization exercises. So we'll go through that again in the later part of the series where we talk about the 4 powers. Yeah, then 4 bases of psychic power. So besides visualizing light, you need to visualize the impurities of the body.
Okay, Bante, is it just one I don't know, one possibility, right? Is it because of the bad karmas that affecting that? maybe because if, for instance, right, if we had a lot of defilements, then when you try to do meditation, right, you have a lot of tightness. Actually, you have a lot of pain inside, Then it's going through that. You try to purify that mind, easing the pain and so on. This is what is happening to me. But if you didn't do a lot of, you didn't have a lot of refinements, then actually the meditation path, it comes smooth, more like more happiness, the situation, the condition, because you did not have to get rid of a lot of defilements. Is it because of, I don't know, just opinion? Is it because of the bad karmas that accumulated for so long in the Venerable Moggallana? If you remember that he once was a Mara, a lot of bad thing he did, then that affecting his journey, towards enlightenment, because he need to purify those, and a lot of pain. But the difference with the Venerable Sariputta is not the case for him.
Yeah, this I'm
Other
not
than
very
the
sure.
object.
Yeah, this I'm not very sure. Yeah, because duration-wise, Venerable Moggallana attained faster than Venerable Sariputta. Yeah. Venerable Sariputta take a longer time to.
I think for that is the reason.
Yeah,
He like to do analytics, analyze all the things, doing it very minute
categorized
details on that. Then because of that, it becomes longer. But not the journey itself is actually pleasant. That's what is mentioned. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a no.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so regarding the past karmas part, I'm not very sure about that. Yeah. So if you happen to find the materials, or if I do happen to find them, we can share. Yeah. Okay. Thank
Bante,
you. Yeah.
what is the difference between piti and sukha? Because these two terms both give to the meaning rapture and happiness. What is the difference between piti and sukha?
Yeah. Okay. Joy and happiness. Okay. So difference can be sieved out through the step-by-step jhana method, level-by-level jhana method. So if a person goes from the second jhana to the third jhana, then they can differentiate between joy and happiness, at least from the jhanic level. But let's say a person strictly does the vipassana part, strictly thinks of impermanence, and they feel certain joy arise, Dhamma joy arise. So that is only joy alone, but no happiness.
Is it the joy of serenity, the joy of tranquility?
And there are different grades. So there's joy from jhanas and also joy from vipassana. There's also a normal circular kind of joy. Yeah, I enjoy your food or enjoy shopping, whatever. Yeah, so there's circular joy. Then there's withdrawn from senses kind of joy, which is the jhanic kind of joy, and there's another kind of detachment kind of joy. Different spectrum. Okay, hopefully that answers the question. Any other questions? Yeah, if not, we can conclude the session. 10:07. Okay, then we dedicate the merits. Akasata Jakumata Devanaga Mahidika Punyang Tang Anumoditva Chirang Rakhantu Loka Sasanang Etavata Jahamhehi Sapadang Punya Sapadang Sabi Deva Sabi Buddha Sabi Sata Anumodantu Sabha Sampati Siddhya. Transference of merits to departed. Idam menyati na hotu, sukita hontu nyata yo. Idam menyati na hotu, sukita hontu nyata yo. Idam menyati na hotu, sukita hontu nyata yo. aspiration. Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo sata samagamo hotu yavani bana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right. And leave it to Terence to announce. Yeah.
Bhante. Just a gentle reminder to everyone tuning in. Bhante will be conducting a meditation retreat over Zoom, 26 and 27 of June 2021. If you are interested, please scan the QR code to register, and Zoom will send you the link to join. That's all, Bhante.
All right.
See you next
So,
week.
yep, see you all next week. Good night.
Good day.
Okay, no problem. Good night.
Thank you, Bhante.
Night.
Good night, all.
Good night.